Like in last class, we have discussed DOM structure, how we can locate the ID, name, these locators in the Selenium.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you. Let me share my screen. So we have seen the locators concept. So where we have completed how to identify the element, how to interact with the element, how to extract the unique element from the duplicates or multiple elements, and how DOM structure is navigating and interacting with the element. Those kind of things we have seen, and we have seen some random example for ID, and I have given exercise for name and class name. Did anyone try that? Any doubt? No doubt.
Sir, actually, sorry, because yesterday the previous recording was added, so I could not practice today. I'll do it, and if I have any doubt, then I'll ask in the tomorrow's class.
Okay, no issues. Let's try that. Okay, and let me know if you're facing any challenges. I'm moving on to the next topic. The next locator. Okay, we have completed ID, name, class name we have completed. So now it is a link text. Link text. So what is link text? How it will be interacting? So what are the elements? Okay, what are the elements over in the web page need to having a hyperlink? Those elements are called link text. And that element having a text, that text holding the link. So here you can see this is a text. This is a text, but that text doesn't have any link. So when we are hovering that, it is not returning any actions. But you can see this is a text, but when I'm hovering on the text, it is giving underline, which means that it is having a hyperlink. So when I'm hovering that, you can see in the bottom, you can see the URL. So this link text having the URL, that URL is binding to the text, which we are trying to click it, redirect to the respective URL. It is because of there is a link which is which is synchronized in the backend with the text. So most of the time, the link text developed under the anchor tag. Okay. So you can see here, forgotten password and question mark. So you can see here we have that text, but this text coming under a tag. You can see there is a div class. Inside the div class, there is a tag. The tag is opening from here and closing here. In between that, we have a attribute called hrefs. which having a URL. This URL is combined with this text. That is why when we are interacting with that text, it is opening that. So there is to be very careful when we are identifying the link text. So always, if it having a text and there is a text, that won't be combined each other. Okay. Sometimes they may not work. Okay. It is we need to identify whether the text is linked text or not. So you can see anchor tag. Within the anchor tag, we have the attributes and the URL. In that same attribute within the tag, we have a text. Then only this text is considering as a linked text. Sometimes what will happen, this text is something outside of the A tag, which means that that text is coming inside the div tag. Those texts are not considering as a linked text. Okay, that we need to be verify carefully whether the text is implemented over in the A tag or where the H reference is implemented within the same tag, the text should be implemented. Okay. Open the application. So driver dot find element class by dot what is the locator? Locators are linked text. Linked text. We supposed to say the text name here. Which text is linked? It is forgotten password, correct? Supposed to provide case sensitive. Then we can. The action is supposed to for link text is click. Okay. So this is how we need to identify the link text. So it is very simple. But the only concern is whether the text is linked with any hyperlink or not, and the text which is implemented within the tag or not. That only thing we need to validate. Any doubt? No, sir. Fine. There is another one link text we have that is called partial links text. Both are same. Okay, both are same. Partial link text. So it is a link text and it is partial link text. So in the name also we can able to guess how it may differ. The link text we supposed to provide the text name very carefully. It should be as it is. It should be as it is. So whatever the text we have, the same text we supposed to provide when it is a link text. But similarly, when it is a partial link text, we can provide the text name partially. There is no mandatory to provide all the values or exact text. Even though if we are using partial link text, we can give forgotten. It will work, but the same forgotten will not work over in the link text. Okay. Let's say.
Sir, if we have the same kind of text in like two or more places in multiple places, then how can we differentiate in partial link text?
That won't be there. 99%. If it is same there, then we need to be extract very carefully. How to extract that? Then we should not go with the link text concept. Okay, the link text concept doesn't work because we have a multiple elements. So we should go with the other locators concept. Or what we supposed to do? We have to go with the find elements. I will tell you if it is multiple values, how to interact with the specific, the expected element. Okay, the next in the tag we will be see how we can do that. Okay, so I will explain you that concept. Okay, the next topic I will be discussing.
Okay.
In here we have any doubt?
No.
So let me run this. What happened? There is something wrong. You see that there is here line number 1 on it. Okay. There is something is not commanded up. Article. Okay. So this is how we supposed to interact with that link text. Similarly, it will work for partial link text. Okay, you can try it out this. I'll be moving on to the next locator called tag name. What is tag name? So here everything in HTML, everything is a tag. Correct? Everything, all the each and individual lines of program has been inbuilt with each tag. So HTML is on tag, head is on tag, body is on tag, script is on tag, div is on tag. So far we have seen the concept is attribute, right? Any attribute and its value. But now it is a tag. Based upon the tag, we can able to extract with the specific values. But here the challenge is that tags are 99% will be having a duplicates. Very, very rare. So when we want to interact with any element, that element is implemented under a single tag. Maybe that tag is sometime it will be unique, but most of the time it have a duplicates. For example, I just want to interact with the link text. See, when I am trying to search a link text, we have 42 tag names. So here it is a duplicate. So I want to only interact with the, for example, only interact with the forgotten password or any one link text. Okay, we have multiple link text of that, right? The languages or all are link text, create pages and link text. So here how we can interact. Let's write that down. Find the elements. Okay, so here we are supposed to interacting with the multiple elements and extracting or interacting with only one element. By dot tag name. Tag name is A. Correct. First, let me see how many tags we have when we are running the program. In the runtime, how many elements we are getting. So tag name. Print length of tag name. First, we can check how many tag name A are over there in the respective application. We are not doing anything with the web page. So I'm just minimizing here. Okay, we have 42. What are we have seen manually? Those all the counts are matching. So here we have a n number of 42 link text are there. So I want to go with a specific link text. So what I can do? So all the tag which having a text, all the tag which having a text. That is what we have seen. But here you can see here it having a no text. So these are not a hyperlink. Okay, they have just created, implemented. We doesn't have any text. It will be returning as an empty value. So what I supposed to do here, I want to iterate it. I want to iterate because find elements returning a list of web elements. List of web elements, that is very, very important. In the interview aspect, they will be having a question. What is the return type for find elements? So when you are interacting, doing a program for the inbuilt method, understand the return type also. So here it is returning a list of web elements, which means a comma a comma a comma a comma. Each anchor tag will be until 42 a tag. Until 42, it will be in the list of values. So from here, we want to interact with any specific tag, whether it is a first one or it is a last one. So we need to extract that. How to that? If it is a list of elements, then we supposed to iterate. We supposed to iterate. Don't remember that. Always list of values to be iterate to extract the unique or single value, single expected value. So here what I will be doing, for from the tag name, right? From the tag name, tag name, sorry. Nazreen, I'm seeing in all the classes you have a two login, right?
Sir, actually, my laptop mic is not working, so I have joined from mobile also.
Okay. So here now we have all the text. Whatever the link text we have, it will return. Now what I supposed to do, I need to identify that the respective text, respective tag. I want to interact with the forgotten password. So what I'm supposed to do? If tag dot text, tag dot text, what it will return here? First, it will return the text from the tag. In this A tag, we have a text. Similarly, we have seen some other tag, right? Some other A tag. That A tag doesn't have a text value. See here, this A tag we don't have any text value, correct? Yeah, we have a text value. So we are trying to extract this text. Similarly, we want to validate this text. Or to validate the text here. So when the text is matching here, I want to interact with that text. So tag dot click. So now this tag name, I have 42 values. From the 42 values, I'm interacting with the specific text, specific element when it is a duplicate. How? It is based on the condition. Once the conditions match, I am supposed to break because I am here. I am interacting only one elements. For example, why we need a break? It is very, very important. Okay, when we are handling with a loop, we supposed to know whether we have to use loop, we have to use break or not. Break is a flow control. Break is a flow control. This statement control your loop because imagine that we have 42 element. We have 42 element. If the forgotten password, which is coming first tag, then what will happen? It will unnecessarily, the program will run for remaining 41 times. That is not the expectation. Correct? Your program is getting slow, even though after clicking the or interacting with the respective element. If the element is 42nd, then fine. If it is not 42nd, it is something is in the first or second or something, but it is in the initial value from the list. Then even though after interacting with the respective element, it should unnecessarily loop for the rest of the element. So program will wait after interacting. So that is not the expectation. So what we supposed to do, once the expected element is identified, we supposed to click whatever the action we required that we are doing. Immediately we are stopping the break, stopping the loop. So what will happen? Once we click the element in the web page, immediately the interpreter will come here and it will look for, okay, there is a break statement. It will come outside here. Come outside to the next line. It will come here. If it is not giving the break, then what will happen? If we are not giving break, even though after clicking, it will go to the next tag, next element from the list, next element, next element, next element, until the sequence of the values are getting completed. It will keep on loop in the backend. that we are not able to see that, right? It will happening very fast, but even though why we require that, it will waste of our time. Imagine that here we have 42, but imagine that it is having a thousands of values. The expected values is in the second position. The remaining 998 values is simply the program will run. That is not the expectation. So what we supposed to do here? Immediately we have to use break statement. We can also see first we run this, let's say. Let me see, in 42 we have, right? In which count we are getting the their expected value. I'm supposed to. So just doing the increment here. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is now it creates the expected packet as well. We'll see in the program. Okay, it is coming in the first. Okay, if we have not looked, then it will print all the values. See, I will show you the difference. When we are not giving break, how it will happen? Come, okay, I'm just commanding out this break. Okay, I'm just commanding out this print statement. Let me run this. Is it error? Tag name text. Okay, see, even though it is showing an error, because what happened? Okay, what I will do, I'm just for understanding, I will pause. I will explain why we got the error. I'm just minimizing here. You can see here we have 42 values, right? So from 0 to 41. But our forgotten password is coming in the position of
First.
1. That is second value. 0, because it is a for loop, right? I'm starting with 0. So our value is coming in the first value. So from this list, the expected value is in the second position. Now I am not using break. That is why the loop is running until completion of the sequence. If I'm using the break, I'm using the break. What will happen when the condition is met in the first position? In the first position, when the condition is met, we are immediately breaking the loop. So the interpreter won't come here. Interpreter will come outside of the loop. Okay. We are not doing anything here. I'm just minimizing this. Okay, see here. 0 is printed. 1 it came here. Then immediately it's break. That is why we require to identify. We need to provide the break when we are using a loop. Either it is a for loop or while loop. That is very, very important. Any doubt until here?
No, sir.
Now, here we have, when we are running this, what happened? When we are not using break, okay, when we are not using break, we are trying to run, we got the error, right? Anyone having idea why it is getting an error? It is very, very important. When the code implementation is not correct, we will get the error kind of this. See here, this text value. This, what is the tag here? It is a driver.WebElement tag name A. This is the element. This is the element. But here we are getting the tag name with the text value from this page, because this page we are iterating all the A tag, right? All the A tag. But what is happening after clicking the tag, the respective element, it is moving on to the new page. This page elements are different. This page elements are different, correct? So after moving into this page, now the UI is looking like this after it is clicking, right? But what we are doing here, we are trying to search this tag text name over in this UI. But this UI is not visible, correct? This is what the visible, right? So here we are not able to identifying the whatever the tag name is coming here. That is what we are getting an error. That is why very, very important. When the image, when the UI is not there, we will get the error kind of this unable to locate the element kind of the exception we will be getting. Okay, stale element not found. Whatever the element we are trying to search, that element is not found. This element is only belongs to this page, but currently the page is here. Okay, so that is very, very important. Sometimes we will be facing this kind of a challenges. Always the element should be synchronized. Whatever the element we are trying to search, right? That element should be synchronized with the respective UI. Otherwise, we will be getting error kind of this. Got it? Any doubt?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, someone asked some question, right? When we are interacting with the link text. Am I clear your doubt now?
Yes, sir.
Now coming into next locator. CSS selector. CSS selector. We have completed class name, link text, partial link text, tag. So these are, so far we have seen all the default values. All the default values. So default means we are interacting with the elements over in the web page. Maybe it may be the attribute or the tag according to the locator name. According to the locator name. But here it is a CSS selector. CSS selector is something is customized. We supposed to create. Here it is not like that. If it is ID, we are taking the value of the ID over from the UI, we are passing here. If it is a tag name, we are taking the tag name from the UI and passing it. Similarly for link text as well. But when we are coming into CSS selector, we have three different types. CSS selectors are always a combination. Okay, always it is a combination. It is a combination. Tag name plus ID. Tag name plus class tag name plus attribute tag name plus class plus attribute. In CSS Selector, you can see everything is combination. Here, we supposed to create manually. CSS Selector also sometimes we can ignore the duplicates. Directly we can take. Here, how we have ignored the duplicates, we are iterated that. Then we have created a condition. Based upon the condition, we are interacting with the element. But here, it is not like that. We are not creating a loop. We are directly ignoring the duplicates, directly identifying the unique values. Let's see whether we can able to identify any duplicates here. First is here syntax is very, very important. Okay, syntax are very, very important. Give me a minute. I close this all the pages. Here we have a text boxes. We have a text boxes. First, we will be going with tag name with ID. Always tag name are optional. Okay. ID is mandatory. It is not only for this scenario, all the scenario. When it is a tag name with class is mandatory, but tag name is optional. Here also tag name is optional. Here also tag name is optional. Optional means if you are not specified the tag name also it will work. Sometimes we may require to specify the tag name. Sometimes we don't want to specify the tag name. When we need to specify the tag name, sometimes what will happen, there we have a value of the ID is duplicates over in the web page. Both the values are implemented in different tag. For example, we have an element. We have one element. That element ID having ABC. This is coming under div tag. Right? It is coming under div tag. But similarly, we have another one ID, which is coming under it's the tag name I can give here. Okay, I will give it style tag, for example. Okay, for example, it is a style tag. Similarly, inside the style tag, we have an ID ABC. See here, I want to interact with the ID here. If I am providing ABC, then what will happen? In the DOM structure, this will be getting in the top. So my driver will be interacting with this side, not this side. So in order to interact with the respective element, I want to go with the for loop. I need to iterate it. Then I need to check the tag name or any specific unique value. Based upon that, I can extract the unique value. But without for loop also, we can ignore the duplicates. How? Here we want to specify the tag name. If we specify only the ID value, then it is a duplicate. But if we more specifying the tag name style, it is a considered as a unique, right? When we are interacting with here the tag name is div with ABC. Here it will be coming like a div ABC, but here it is style ABC. Now both are not duplicate, both are unique values. So in that purpose, we can specify the tag name. So tag names are not mandatory. If you want to be more specified, then you can give a tag name. So that makes you different with other elements. Okay. Let me see the example. So here, syntax. Okay, we have seen the optional and mandate. Syntax is, I forgot something. I need to recap 1 minute. What is the syntax? Either I think it is a hash or dot. I need to check that 1 minute. Okay. So is a dot. So when is a tag and ID? The syntax is tag name dot value of the ID. Similarly, when is a tag class, for tag class, tag name with class. Here the syntax is tag name hash class name, value of the class.
Sorry, sir. Can you explain that tag name class, what exactly it is?
I will show you example.
Okay.
Here tag name. For example, I want to interact with this input box. Okay, input box. Let me go inspect. So tag name. So tag and class names are different types. Okay, in CSS Selector we have 4 different types. One is tag and ID. Another is a tag name and class. Another is a tag and a attribute. Tag, class, attribute. These are the 4 different types we have in CSS Selector. First type is tag and ID. Second type is tag and class.
Okay.
Driver.findElement. By.cssSelector. Selector. Here, when we are using a CSS selector, first we will go with the tag and ID. What is the syntax of tag and ID? We have to provide the tag name. What is the tag name here? So I want to interact with this input box. So here the tag name is input. Okay. Tag name is input. Case sensitive. Input and ID. ID. Do we have an ID here? Yeah, here we have. Email. But before that, we have to provide the syntax. What is the syntax here? Dot. Dot. Because see, in the previous locator, when we are interacting with ID, okay, when we are interacting with the ID or class name, we have given only the ID, value of the ID. But Here the locator we have given specifically we are saying that ID. So the driver can easily able to identify the values belongs to ID. But here we are specifying CSS selector. Then how the driver know the value what we have provided is belongs to ID? It is because of this dot. If it is a dot, then it will be considering as a ID. Similarly, if it is like a find element by.css selector, I'm sorry, input hash, then we supposed to provide the class value. Okay, so this is for ID. This is for tag dot ID. This is for tag dot class name. So this ID, when we are giving ID, CSS selector, the driver will understand that it is a tag name, and this dot after the dot, the value is belongs to ID attribute. So the driver will search for the value under ID attribute. If it is a hash, then the value should be checking over for the class. Class we have an input. We have an input dot text. It will be if we are interchanged. For example, if we are providing hash. If it is a hash, we supposed to pass the class value for the class. If we provided ID, it won't work. If we are providing the value of the ID here, it doesn't work. It will say that unable to identify the element. Because if we provided email belongs to value of ID, right? But driver will search for this value under class attribute. Okay, that is not happening, right? That is not the expectation. So this dot and hash makes a lot of different here. According to that, the program will work. Okay, let me command this. So here driver.findElement CSS Selector input.email. I am giving a dot send keys, passing the value username. Okay, it is a username, right? Email address, username at. Now the next one is class. So for class, what I will be doing? This is for tag name plus class. So here the syntax we supposed to give hash, right? So password. I'm going for password now. Both are looking like similar. There is some changes out there. See the different here. Okay, here you're supposed to see the different here, looking like both are same. 1 minute. Sorry. Here, two things we need to note it. First thing is you can see values are same, class value. This is for username. This is for password. Password they have added newly _9 NPA, but for class it is we don't have. So these kind of sometime it will considering as a duplicate. Okay, and one more thing, when we are providing the value any value, not only for class, any value, that value should not have a space. See here we have an email. This is a value of ID. Here we don't have any spaces, right? But see here after the input text, we have some space. We have some space. After the space, we have some value. After this space, we have some value. It should not be like this. It should not be like this. Even though the page is providing, the inspect page is providing the value. That is how it has implemented. But driver cannot able to understand that. It will end up with error. Let's see, give me a minute. Let me comment this. Okay, let me comment this. Not this one, this one. Okay, so this is for username and this is for password. Send keys, I'm pausing the password. Let me run. Before that, let's open the application. I want to maximize this. Opening the Facebook, maximizing the window, identifying this element and passing username and then passing password. Let's see. I think syntax is wrong, I guess. That is what not fast. Okay. Correct. Okay, I have interchanged the value. I think for ID, it's supposed to hash, and when it is a class, it should be dot. Okay, when it is ID, it's class. When it is a class, it should be dot. Okay. Let me run one more time.
Sir, there you have put increase symbol, I think, instead of dot.
Where? Line number?
Last one, 173. There you put input. Yeah.
Sorry, it is a class, right? I have to provide. It is a class. But let me run one more.
A dot, right? For class.
No, but dot is for tag and ID. The dot is for, here we have seen two combination. One is tag and ID, another one is a tag and class. Tag and ID, another tag and class. For tag and ID,
yeah, for tag and hash.
Hash. When it is tag and class, it's
Dot.
supposed to be dot.
Yeah.
It's my bad. Let me run on button. So this is expected one. Okay. Username only it has passed, but password we got error. This is expected one. I have said, right? We supposed to provide the value without space. We have provided the value with space. Let's see where we got the exception. See, it is showing the exception over here because sometime it may work. Okay, sometime it work, sometime it not work. But if it is raising a error kind of this, sometime it may work whatever the value we have given. Sometime if we're having a space, it doesn't work. At that time, just try to remove the space. You should not remove the space like this. Okay, you should remove the values. Okay, we should remove the values. We should remove the remaining values, and the value which doesn't have a space, we should keep as it is. Okay. Now let me run the program one more time. See here. Here we are facing another one challenge. Username and password are passed in the same element. Why? Because duplicate. Username also passed in the same input box and password also pasted in the same input box. It is because of duplicate values I have shown, right? So this is for username. This is for password. Username also we have the same. See, username also same, password also same. Only the difference is this one. So if I provide the same name, then what will happen? It will pick the username. That is will be coming in the DOM structure in the top, right? That also tag name is a input. I cannot make differentiate here. Only thing what I supposed to do, I want to remove everything. I want to go with this value because this only the value which is not present over in this username. Now I will run. So now see, we are specifying or we can, making the element more specific. Now it is working correctly. Okay, whatever the value we have provided, it is passed in the password and the username. So this is how we supposed to write the value when we have a duplicates or when we have a spaces. Okay, always remember that when it is ID, it should be hash and value. When it is a class, it is a dot. So here I think we don't have a duplicate. As I said, without tag name also it will work. Okay, tag names are optional, but this hash and dot are important. That tell you the driver the value which is belongs to ID. This value which is belongs to the class. Okay, without using the tag name also, it will work. Got it? Any doubt until here?
Sir, is it completely optional? Like we can search by ID or we can search by class?
Yeah, it is completely optional. It is based upon our expectation. So I see here we have a 4 different types. I am explaining the 4 different types. According to the functionality, sometimes see, according to the functionality, you can choose. Sometimes some element may have an ID value. Here we have a class and ID, both are in same tag name. Sometimes what will happen? Some input having only class name or ID, or maybe 2 values are not there. Class also not there, ID also not there. So in that scenario, we can go with attribute.
So
So
we
it is
can, okay, we can decide it by seeing that tag and the like whatever it is.
Yes,
Okay.
we can able to define to when we are understanding the tag, what are the attributes it have. According to the attribute, we need to search manually first. Okay, so in the initial time, we are directly creating this value, but when you are getting expertise before creating the program, what you supposed to do, you have to control F. You have to create that value here manually. You have to search it whether we having a duplicates value or not, or go with the selector hub. Here you have to tag name dot. Then you have to search for the value. Okay, I have given a tag name, right? That is not correct. Input dot email. Sorry, input dot hash dot email. See, it is finding, it is returning one element. So we can able to understand that entire program, entire this page only having a unique value. If you are going with dot, we have seen something, right? Input text, input text. We have two elements, email, username, and password. Because this input we having in the to tag. So likewise, what you're supposed to do in real time before implementing the program, you have to look out the respective tag name and you have to understand which type of the locator we are going to use, whether CSS selector ID or not. If it is a CSS selector, whether we have to go with any specific attribute except ID or class, or we are going with ID or class, that we need to identify, create manually, validate it doesn't have a duplicates, then implement the same in the program. Sometimes when you are manually searching the element, it may have only one value, but in the runtime, it will create a duplicate values. Those kind of a challenges also there. In that scenario, you cannot able to get the value here. In the runtime only you have to inspect. How runtime only you have to inspect? You have to create a time.sleep. Time.sleep give some sufficient time. These are seconds. Sufficient time. What will happen? In this time, the program will sleep. You will have the UI. At that time, you have to do right click, inspect it. What makes you different? What is additionally created here? You have to inspect manually in the runtime. Okay, those kind of a challenges also you will be encountering. You got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we need to create a CSS selector for ID, tag ID, and tag class. Now coming into attribute. So far we have seen a simple syntax. We have to give a hash and we have to give a dot. 1 minute. Now the third one is tag name plus attribute. When we are saying attribute, any attribute we can refer here. Not only we can go with the class or ID, any attribute. Okay. That is because class is one of the locator, name is one of the locator, ID is one of the locator. Yes, these are the specific locators we have, but other than that, we have attribute. These are attribute. Placeholder is attribute. Out of these are the attribute. These are not coming under locator, but these are coming under the locators. Sometimes the tag they doesn't have the locator. They only have the attribute. In that scenario, you have to go with the CSS selector with attribute. Let's see how to create this. What is the syntax here? Syntax is tag name, open bracket, close bracket, attribute name, value of attribute. That's it. I will be giving the exercise attribute. Okay, I will going with the class attribute. It's a combination. Okay, you will get understand how to create the attribute here. Let's see. This combination of two is one single tag. I'm giving this tag plus attribute as an exercise. I will be moving forward with the next topic. Tag name plus class plus attribute. Let me go with the same email address. Okay, it makes more understand to clear the concept. Driver.findElement. By.cssSelector. Selector. Here, what is the combination? Tag name. What is the how to define the tag name here? tag name is input. Then what is the syntax for tag name with the class? We have seen, right? Tag name with the class. It is dot.
Dot.
So what is the value here? Underscore 9npi. That is what the value here. Now it is a tag class. Additionally, we have to provide the attribute. The syntax for attribute is square bracket. Inside the square bracket, we supposed to identify any one attribute. For example, I will go with this attribute, data test ID. So I supposed to provide the data test ID equal to the value. What is the value here? Royal email. Okay, if you are only using tag plus attribute, then it will be looking like something like this. Tag name with attribute. Now it is a combination of tag name, class name, and attribute. So we're supposed to pass the class name as well. So it is a last type in CSS selector. Finding the element CSS selector, tag name, class name, attribute. Here, the royal name is something belongs to user ID. So I'm just considering a send key, random value. We run this. Let's see how it is working. Okay, some syntax error is there. Okay. Some syntax error is there. What are the value we have provided? There is a syntax error. Let me check what is the syntax error. In single quotes is not required, even though without syntax also it is working. Let me run this. I think single quotes makes the difference there, I guess. No. Let me see the syntax. Give me a minute. I'm supposed to check here. ID, sorry, tag name. Tag name is the input. And okay, sorry. See here, this is my mistake. I'm looking for tag name input, and I have provided the class name. Class name, we don't have underscore 9 NPA, right? The 9 NPA is belongs to for password. And I'm looking for the attribute data test ID here. Data test ID here also data test ID, but here is a royal email. Here it is a royal pass. I have given a email. So these are for username. This is for username, but this is for password. That is why it is not working. So instead of email, I will go with password. Okay. So royal pass. Let's go, it will work. There is no issues. Input tag name, class value of the password, attribute of the password. Let's see. Okay. What are value we have provided? It is okay. Fine. So this is how we supposed to handle the tag name, class name, attribute. Okay. Any doubt?
Wrong.
No, sir.
But I have a general query. So while writing the code, we can use any one of the locator, right?
Yes, that is your wish. So I'm telling that we have a different direction to reach one goal. The direction you supposed to choose based upon your project. Okay, in the project when you are developing automation, there won't be all the direction may not be possible, but there will be possible from all the direction, any one direction you have a possible. That direction you have to choose which direction is more suitable on your project for your automation. That makes your program very fast and smart. Fine. We have completed tag and attribute. Sorry, tag, class, and attribute. We have completed CSS selector. Now moving on to the export. I'm giving 5 minutes break. Okay, I'm giving 5 minutes break. We'll be back at 8:30. Okay, so export is something very, very important concept other than all the locators. In real time, we won't use these all the locator. Okay, it is for learning and we need to understand how the basic locators are working. We will be using this, but not mandatorily, not majority. But XPath, we will be using majority of the time. We need to know what is meant by XPath and how it is working. What are the different types of XPath? Why we are going with XPath? Why XPath is more important than other locators? Okay, let's see that. I'm giving 5 minutes break. Okay, I'm back.
Okay,
Carry
Ram.
on. Okay, let's go on to the next part.
Ram, before moving that, I have one query.
Mhm.
Normally, as you said, for CSL like that, we have to remove the spaces, right? But for inspecting the element, one normally we have to just copy and paste from the particular locator, right? So if we remove the spaces, whether it will find it correctly or it will throw error.
No, it won't throw
Sometimes.
error. No, it won't throw error. That was we have seen, right? If we remove that,
Ah,
it will. See, we have removed the space, correct here. We should we should not only remove the space. See, that is why I'm saying. See here, you can see here. Here we having a space. We have a dot. We have a space. So we should not remove this space. We should remove the entire value after the space. The whatever the value we have provided, that value should not have space. Either we have to provide this value or we have to go with this underscore to this value or this one. That we need to decide.
okay, Ram, get it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyone having doubt? Can I move forward?
Yes.
Fine. XPath. XPath is nothing but it is a XML path. So sometime XPath also is a customized locator. We have to create the path. So sometime what will happen? We may encounter with this all those locator. Sometimes driver is not able to identify the locator from those locators. So sometime it will work only for the XPath. So why we require XPath? XPath are very fast, very we can able to extract the duplicates. We can extract the unique values from the duplicates, and it is in the DOM structure. XPath are working very fast comparing to all the values except ID. ID may be unique, but other than ID, XPaths are very fast actually than others locator. In XPath, we have two different types. One is absolute XPath and relative XPath. What is meant by absolute XPath? What is meant by relative XPath? Absolute XPath are full path. Okay, in the interview point of view, XPaths are very, very important. They will be asking sure one question from the XPath side. Full absolute XPath is a full path. It will always start from the root node. Root node. What is meant by root node? This is a root node, HTML. So if you are interacting any value over in this page, the absolute XPath will be starting from always from the HTML. Okay, that is very, very important. Syntax of the XPath, absolute XPath will be always from the root node. Single backslash from HTML. Then it will move forward accordingly. We won't have any duplicates here. We won't encounter any single duplicates here. These are the advantages. The disadvantages is it is very slow in the program. Okay, when we are using this, a program will be very slow actually. Why we are considering this is a slow? Because I will show you the absolute XPath for any element here. Okay. For this plus simple. Okay, I'm trying to get the absolute XPath. Okay. Let me interact. And we have a full path. Full path is a absolute XPath. Normal XPath is a relative XPath. So we are going with absolute XPath. So okay, you can see full XPath. Full XPath, absolute XPath always starts with single backslash with the HTML. Why it is very slow? In the DOM structure, if we are using the absolute XPath, the driver will be navigating in the DOM structure each node. Node is nothing but the tag. Tag are more technically we are saying that node. So the driver will navigate HTML, body, div1, div1, div2, div2, div2. Mandatorily, the driver will be navigating to all the node. Finally, it will reach to the A tag. That is why we don't have duplicates here. And that is why we are considering it is a very slow, because the driver is supposed to navigate to all the nodes in order to reach the final element. And another disadvantage is, so we are trying to interact with this element, right? Imagine that in the future, this element may be moved to over in this top right or left, anywhere. It is changing the position. That is what the expectation. It is changing the position of the current place. Or if any element which is added in between, for example, just current path. But in the future, if we having an additional one div tag, what will happen? The entire original path, now it's different. If it is different, what will happen? It won't work. We will get the exception. Because this is the path. This is the current path. This is the current path. This is original path. So today we are implementing this program, but after 1 week, may the application got developed and got changed the structure. What will happen? The original path, what we have implemented in the program, it won't work because we have additionally one div tag here. One div tag. This we may face challenges over in the absolute XPath. Normally, developers won't suggest the absolute XPath. Okay, why? Because of this disadvantages and the slowness. Why it is getting slow? Because it's supposed to navigate from the root node. That is why no one will be suggesting to use absolute XPath. Any doubt in the absolute XPath?
No, sir.
Fine. Relative XPath. When we coming into relative XPath, it is now generally calling as a partial absolute XPath or late XPath. It always start with double backslash. Double backslash. Here it is a single backslash with HTML. Here it will be always start with double backslash. This makes the different in order to understand the driver. This is a relative XPath. This is an absolute XPath. What is the meaning of double backslash? I will tell you. Here we may have a duplicates. We may have a duplicates sometime. It is very fast. It is very fast. Sometimes we may face challenges of when the original path gets different. Not always. Okay, not always. It is a percentage of the option is 50%, but here it is 100%. The same path, okay, the same element. I'm trying to get the relative XPath. Okay. Doing the right click, copying that, copy XPath. This is the relative XPath. Okay. See here, this is the simple path for this element. Both are same. And I will say this is also a long path. This is also a long path. And one more thing, here we have only one path is available. Only one path we can create. But here we can create multiple XPath. Here we can create only one. XPath. That is why we are saying that it won't have a duplicates. We are navigating from the root node. Here it is not kind of that. I will create manually. I will create manually more simple than this. Let's see whether we have any options. Yeah, we have an option to create more. Okay, I will create a. Okay, let's see using selector. It gives some different XPath. Okay. See, this is a simple XPath. Okay, always use selector. It give a more smart way. It is giving the path always very smart. See here how smart than this. Here we have a multiple path, different paths. But the aim is we are clicking the value from the A tag. What is the difference between absolute and relative XPath? This is a difference. Here we supposed to navigate to the older node, but when it is a relative XPath, we can able to interact with the respective element, or we can go with some relative tag, the neighbor tag. From the tag, we can navigate to the respective tag. But when it is absolute path, always we should start from the root node. Why we are giving a double backslash? See, I will go with this. I will go with this. can see the different. This is a path, right? This is the path. See the difference. This is the absolute expert, the relate expert. How it has created this path. Directly we jump into the respective tag. From there, we have taken the attribute and its value. Always remember that when we take XPath, the attribute having a annotation. But when it is a CSS selector attribute, we should not use annotation. Okay. If you use annotation here, it will throw an error. It is a syntax error. When it is a XPath, we supposed to use annotation. See here, we directly interacting with the A. And we are telling, we are from there, we are getting the attribute and its value. What is mean that? We are ignoring these all the values. That is what mean double backslash. So if we want to ignore any tag, then we supposed to say double backslash. So after that, we have specified the tag name, a tag. There is an option we can use star also. If you have given a star, what is mean that any tag name may be there. If you want to be more specified, if you're giving a star, if div tag having the same attribute value and a tag having the same attribute value, we encounter with the duplicates. If we are using star, at the time we have to be more specific which tag name we want to go, either a or div. Okay, that is a tag name. So this is the main difference between absolute XPath and relative XPath. Then, as I say, we can create multiple XPaths for a single element. That is the beauty of the relative XPath. See here what they have done. This path, we have identified the attribute and its value from this tag. Here it is started from UL. From this div tag, we have identified our own attribute and value. From there, we are navigating. So likewise, we can do from anywhere from here. So always create a relative XPath from backward. So how we supposed to create a relative XPath manually? Sometime I have said right here, we may have a duplicates. How we will be getting duplicates? For example, this is the original path, right? I will tell you. This is the original path. This is original. Now, how many types we can create relative XPath? First, always go with directly go with the respective element. So we are interacting with the element from the A tag, right? So directly go with the A tag, identify any attribute value and give the action. Whether you want to click or you want to send key, whatever that. This is the first option. If we may have a duplicates, sometimes we may have a duplicates in the same attribute, then go with the different attributes on the same tag. Whatever the attribute we have in the A tag, it having a duplicates. Then what you supposed to do? The next thing, move forward here. Here, li 12 go with the attribute and its value. From there, navigate to A. If you having a duplicates here, then go with the step forward, one side back. Go with UL, find out any attribute, value, then move forward. Like LI 12. So that is what happening here. If you have identifying duplicates here, then it will be encountering here. You will get this one. We are moving into one step back. One step back is 12 UA div. From the div tag, we have identified some attribute and value. Then we are navigating UL LIA. So likewise, we can create a multiple values here. That is why relative XPath are more strong enough than absolute XPath. Got it? Any doubt? So this is the basic understanding of absolute XPath and relative XPath. But here we have get this value based on the selector hub and based on the option from the right click. Using copy, we have get the value. But you supposed to know, as a technical person, you supposed to know how the values we should create manually, either absolute XPath or relative XPath. Because sometimes whatever the value it's provided, we may encounter with duplicates. Or it may not be working. At the time, what you supposed to, you know that how to create that manually. If you are not knowing that, then it will be hard. In interview point of view also, they will be asking you to create the XPath manually. Let's see how to create manually both absolute XPath and relative XPath. We can move with some other application. Okay, we can go with this application. We are seeing more example on the Facebook. Now what we need to do, I will be identifying one element here, privacy. Okay. I'm identifying privacy. For this privacy, I'm creating a both absolute XPath and relative XPath. First go with the absolute XPath. Okay, then we can go with the relative XPath. So how we supposed to create? Always when you are creating a path, go backward direction. That is very, very important. Okay. Because if the path is very long, not only for absolute, relative or relative XPath also, the which element you are interacting, go with that element. Okay, we may miss any tag or we may end up with confusion. Okay, to avoid that, we have to go with the tag which elements we are trying to interact. So here I want to interact the privacy. So it is a tag. So give a tag. Then backslash. We supposed to navigate manually in the backward direction because absolute XPath are coming from the root node. So what we supposed to do, we need to see how to navigate manually. This A tag, see here we have a two A tag. First A tag, second A tag. Okay, I will go with a term. I will go with a term. Okay, because we have a two tag, right? So you will understand better. Here you can see here it is coming under div tag. It is coming under div tag. So we have to provide the div. But here you can see after div tag we have a A. We have a 2A tag. We want to interact with the second one. In the DOM, if you are giving a, it will be considered as the first one. How we supposed to go with the second one? We have to provide the index number. This is called index number. We need to say second div tag, second A tag under the div. If you haven't provided anything, by default, it will be considering as a first A tag. Or if you want to more specify, you can give a 1 also. Okay. Whatever the value we are providing, that is an index number inside the div tag. If we having a multiple tag in the same name, then we are supposed to provide the index number. Otherwise, it will interact with the topmost tag. Now, this div tag is coming under this div tag. But in this div tag, the expecting to navigating the element is second one. So we supposed to say it's a second. Now this div tag is coming under the style. No, not a style tag. In this div tag. In this div tag, we have a style tag, first div tag, second div tag. So we supposed to, we don't want to consider style because we are looking for div tag, right? We have another div tag. So we have to div, we have to specify the index second div. This second div, this is what our div tag. Here we have only one div for this div. I need got used. Check. Second one, second div, and second div, single div. This is what the single div. Now, this div tag is nothing but this div tag. But you can see we having a multiple div for this div. So here we supposed to provide the index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth div. Inside the sixth div only we have all the branches. So here we have another this div tag coming under the body tag. But this div tag we have a duplicates, correct? Under the body we have a style. We have a div. We have a lot of divs, but in whatever we are interacting, which is the first div. So we don't want to specify it. We don't want to specify it. Inside this div only we are trying to interact. First div, sixth div. Fine. We are the first div, correct? Style tag, first div. Then this body coming under the HTML, that is a root tag. Body coming from the root tag. So this is a navigation. These are all the steps we supposed to navigate. So HTML body, inside the body first div tag. Then after that sixth div tag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth div. From the sixth div, we need to navigate the first div tag. Only one div tag we have. Then we supposed to navigate to the second div. 1, 2. Now from there we supposed to navigate to the second div tag. 1, 2. Now from there we have to navigate second div tag. 1, 2. So the navigation is clear. Okay. Let's see manually. Let's see how it is working. Just whatever you have created, copy it. Control F, provide the value. It should navigate to the respective tag. See, we have only one tag. If we are not providing the index here, then it will be going with the first one in the runtime. Here we have a 2 values. So we want to be specific. Okay. Either 1 or 2. So this is how we need to create manually for the absolute expert. Any doubt?
No, sir.
The same thing, I will be creating a relative expert. How simple we can create a relative expert. That is the matter. So directly first go into the respective tab. Terms. We want to interact with the terms, right? So go directly. Here what we supposed to do. Create expert start with double backslash, correct? What means that we are skipping these all the tags. Directly we are going to the respective tag. A2. A2. In this A2, I want to identify the attribute and value. Any attribute. So we have only one attribute. See here, we having a PH OH for this 2A tag. So we want to specify the index here. So I am specifying the index at as equal to so this is more simple to create a relative expert. Let's see, it is okay. See here, even though there is already second A tag having the same value. That is why it is going for business. Now we have two. One is for business, another one is for terms. Now we have to be more specific. Here we have identifying the element. Here duplicates, right? So here what we can do, we need to create a, here we having a div. Here also we have a div. So here you can see the class having a value. Here also we having a value. So what we supposed to do, here we have to go with the div having an attribute. Class from there we are navigating into A tag. We are getting 0. Oh, 1 minute. It's due to that space. Yes. Anything? Div class. Okay, I have missed the annotation symbol. Yeah, we supposed to see we can able to identify only one element. It is because of we are more providing the unique value here. We can also go with directly here instead of going with the class. So when we are going with the class, what happened? When we are going with the class, we have the duplicates. So how to avoid the duplicates? We can go with other text equal to the text. What text we are trying to look out here? Terms. So there is a method called text method. See, using this, we can able to identify only one. This is text. Instead of providing the attribute, here we are calling the text method. This text method we are passing the value. What text we are supposed to looking for. Here we have the text is different. Here it is a business. Here it is a terms. That is why we are getting only one element. So how simple it is. The same thing, only we are changing the attribute. So this type, different type we can go. We can go for that. We can create the relative XPath. Got it? Any doubt? Okay. Now we will be seeing the next topic. How you guys? Can I go with the next topic? It will take some more 20 minutes. Okay, I will go with the topic with the next class. I don't want to break the topic in between. Okay, the next class is the next topic is relationship of nodes. Okay, relationship of nodes. Very, very important topic. Okay, we'll see this topic tomorrow. Okay, try to do some code implementation for the locators, whatever we have discussed. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can let me know tomorrow. If you have no doubt, we can wind up. Right, let me take the attendance. Give a minute. Right. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry.